Are there any key metrics that you look at or try to utilize to help determine how successful you are to delivering those outcomes? I mean, is there any little things that it's easy for us to track or validate to make sure that we're on target?
Well, I'd say, for the enterprise projects that we do, that's certainly that has a business case, and there's some kind of, inside of that business case, there should be a value and a return on investment and ROI that we could bring. So tracking those metrics and how successful we were on those projects, and are we getting the return on investment, I think, are very key critical components to do. From a technology standpoint, we have tons of KPIs, we have tons of KRIs, both from operationally, of course, the availability to customers, the performance. But when you think about risk-based metrics as well, we can't stay on track of initiatives if we don't consider, the risk part of that. So is availability up? Are we having major outages, response time, et cetera? So, those are all key critical metrics that we take care of and we take a look at.
Yeah, I guess a little bit more tactical level. Is there anything that you could share in terms of change management when you're trying to make these innovations and changes and migrations?
Yeah, I would say, in change management, it's very important for visibility. So for any changes that are happening within, not only from a data perspective or from a technology perspective, ensuring that change is visible to all key stakeholders is very important. Again, I mentioned risk, but we take, change management has a very risk focus that we look at very hard. We want to understand what the direct impact is, and we also want to understand the downstream impact. So when you think about user acceptance testing, will this affect downstream systems, post-implementation acceptance? Those are all key areas that we look at for change management.
So, obviously I'm a fan of FFB, and I've seen how you interact with partners and things of that sort. And, it requires strong relationships and stuff. I mean, do you have any secrets or best practices that partners, OEMs, customers should be looking at to help develop, the mutually beneficial relationship that sometimes happens when you have success like you have?
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had the golden nugget in there.
What's the magic number? What's the magic button?
Yeah, probably no secrets, but I will say, I choose to, I do kind of lean towards invest and build a relationship with partners that one have been proven to be successful and experts in their area. They share the same corporate values and objectives that we're trying to accomplish. So that's important to us as partners. And for those partners, I consistently meet with them on a quarterly basis at a minimum to make sure that we're aligning business objectives, we're on the same page. They inform us of what they're learning in the industry, how they can take us to the next level, and then where our investment can go to ultimately help our customers. So that's I don't know if that's the key sauce, but that's really something I've learned within my experience as in technology. And I would say, the partners, I also like to learn about, are they invested in the communities that we're in, the footprints that we reside in as a business, and, do we share the same values? So, that's really important to us. And I found that to be very successful in my relationships with partners.
Yeah, I hope this helps others because, again, you have a pretty good track record as a company.
Well, thank you.
And hopefully this is good input. I didn't know, as a closing, if there's anything that you might want to suggest to others, just your overall perspective on what we all can do to do better or things of that sort in terms of execution of helping drive the business, making sure we're delivering to your end customers what they want, and your end customers being your internal users. I mean, I didn't know if you had any other thoughts. And I mean, I think you've given us some great input. So thank you.
Yeah, I guess in closing, Carl, I'll say first, thanks for all the kind words about First Financial. We have, we've been a bank since the 1800s. We're one of the oldest banks in the U.S. We've celebrated 150 years several years ago. So we're kind of steadfast, and we've been here as a company, but we continue to grow. And it's by partners such as yourself and others that we've continued to increase value here in the Cincinnati area and our footprint. I guess two things that I'll hit on. One is, I try to stay updated as much as I can with all the industries, but I really do rely heavily on partners to give us the best trends and what's happening in the industry. I mean, we're a financial institution, so we're mainly, we're heavily focused on banking sometimes, but it's we really depend on key services like Gartner and other key partners here in the local area to inform us and help us and guide us and advise us. So we can't do it on our own. So that's been very helpful. And then I know transformation is a big buzzword right now. So we have data transformation, we got digital transformation. But I guess I'll end with, in digital transformation, sometimes our mind goes straight to technology, but there's some key components of digital transformation that we can find that we are doing today that we haven't done in the past. So, when you think about process transformation, do we need to change how we're doing things to serve the customer better? Think about APIs, integration, platform as a service, RPA, those types of technologies. Business model transformation, do we have the right team looking at the right things? Are we delivering value to what we need to do in the banking industry? So that's something we look at. There's a whole cultural aspect to transformation that we have to think digitally now. I think the pandemic drove us 15 to 20 years faster than we probably have ever been. So we're hitting things now that we probably wouldn't have got to in years if the pandemic hadn't driven us there. So we have to think differently and domain transformation. Are there areas that we're looking to get into that we're not into yet? So there's all of that just encompasses digital transformation. It's bigger than technology. I guess that's my key point. And again, it really takes us to take time and think strategically through that. So, looking forward to where this takes us. And that's always a journey in the technology realm.
Donnie, thank you very much. I mean, this has been exciting for me because it's kind of fun to just be able to highlight how good how good an organization does, because sometimes we lose sight of the success. We're always focused on what we're not doing right. So Thank you for sharing all that with everybody from the CDO organization.
Thank you, Carl, for the time today.
All right. Thanks. Appreciate it. This has been great. Thank you.